Hola, 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 mi gente. It's getting hotter and hotter and hotter. Woo!
I'm about to grab my fan.
When we start touring, when we come out on stage, we got to come out to that.
Oh, yeah.
It's coming, it's coming. Hi.
You mean world tour?
Oh my God, no Saint. I love it. So apropos, so apropos. Woo! All right, guys. Shoo. All right, here we are. How are you, Elton Drew? Welcome to another episode of On the Block with Jen. I'm YouTube and your favorite devil's advocate, Jen. You can reach me on all social media platforms, On the Block with Jen, and On the Block with Jen at Gmail for business. Thank you for being here. If you want to help Mama keep church lights on, feel free to cash at me. And that is also at On the Block with Jen. Cash App. On the Block with Jen everywhere. I'm pretty easy to find, okay? If you want. Let's get this Saturday party started. We don't have a solid topic, but I know we have some stuff from the panel's desk, and I decided to go with what does power look like. We'll talk a little bit about power and some other fluff, whoever has fluff. I don't have any tonight, so I'm hoping.
I got a little fluff.
Okay, I'm hoping the panel can hold me down along with the chat. Welcome, everyone. Before we get started, here goes Mr. David Hand on Color People Time.
Oh, checking my lighting. Like, what the hell is going on here?
Hello.
That's what it is here. Hold on a minute. Let the sun shine. There we go.
Now we're talking.
How are we, everyone? Sorry I'm late. Stop crying.
The whites
okay.
Notice that the whites, the more they hang around with us, the more they lose concept of time. You know what
I peep. We're a bad influence.
Is that what it is? Damn.
Yes, it's the first thing to go. The first thing to go is time.
It is the first thing. Let me plug
Next thing you know, we're gonna be yelling in the movie theater.
Oh, listen, I will elbow you. That's where I draw the line. No Saint.
I do too. I've had to lean over to dates in the past and be like, "Could you shut the fuck up?"
Yeah,
Right.
Shit.
These tickets were like $40. Shut up.
Hello.
Get out
And then
my popcorn.
the popcorn.
Right.
So guys,
Another
before we
40.
get to talking and introducing ourselves, you guys should know we are starring in Team Fresh Off the Boat's podcast tonight, okay? Team Fresh Off the Boat, aka Team Fatty, who was here, the child that was here yesterday, who got dragged to and fro. So he did exactly what I knew he was gonna do. These kids are like, it's like Revenge of the Rejects, and they come from like sites like Fight Club and things like that. What's that other shit? What's that other where people go and talk but you can't see them? Haran, what is that other thing? It's not Fight Club. Clubhouse. Right. So
That's still around?
Yeah, so these people come from those spaces and those circles, and it's funny, right? Because he sent me the link, and I'm waiting for him to finish so I can send him a copyright strike. Yeah, because I got time. I always got time. So he sent me the link, so I'll get them when they calm down. And it's funny, that's how people get content. The parasites on these like YouTube channels, they're not content creators per se, so they go around fishing around, see if they get, they can get in arguments with people, and then they can use that content. I don't know. He has this weird delusion that we have a rapport with each other. That's why I was stressing to him yesterday. I don't know you. You don't know me. So he thinks he's going to send me the link, and I'm not going to copyright strike him, which is hilarious. So I'm just waiting for him to finish because you can't do it while they're live streaming. So I'm going to do it right after. And then he could pay me half of what he made tonight if he wants me to remove the copyright strike because I'm a business mama. But, it's so funny how they're over there like making up all these, they have these delusions. And it's funny because we usually picture people in power or with money, delusions of grandeur. But it really is, it has flipped. And it really is the have-nots and the commoners and the people that aren't attractive or tall or wealthy or healthy or into fitness. It's really did a complete 180. So it's funny to watch his stream because he has a panel of like rejects and they're trying really hard to make me unattractive, but it's not working. Because every now and then somebody will say, "Oh, but come on, she's attractive. She's the exception." No, she's not. She never
Yeah, I
gonna
caught
get
that.
married. Did you
I
catch
caught
that? Did you catch
I
that?
caught that.
There's a
Mhm.
guy over there built like
They
a
was-
fucking
they were
stick of
reaching.
licorice.
They
They
were
were reaching.
so
They were reaching real
hard.
bad. It was, you know. But then the funny thing is that people come see me like, let's go see who this busted grandma is, and then, hi, baby. Then you see
Right.
me, and you're like, well, wait, where's the lady they were talking about? No, baby, it was me, right? So that's what's so funny about it. But they're reaching, and they have to because you know they live in this world, and you know even with the bullshit, I do believe it or not. I sympathize because I cannot imagine what it's like to go through an entire life where you are someone that's never picked, right? Where you're living in this world where everybody's beautiful and glamorous and the magazine covers don't represent you and the movies don't represent you and the strapping guy on the movie cover doesn't represent you and you're growing up in this world and on top of that, women are rejecting you, right? And then someone that looks like me tells you to fuck off and you're a child and you're immature and that guy is 34. Okay, it's a couple years
Man-child.
past 40, so he's not 18. Right?
Right.
We're not talking about a child here, okay? So he's over there reaching, yeah, and she was on Kendra G. She was on Kendra G. So she was looking for a date, right? You know, it's like, bitch, the same reason you took my content was the same reason I was on Kendra G's content, bitch. But, you know, they have to make these things up. And then they got like the Ugg mugs on there. Like there's this white guy on there, pasty as shit. They either have concave chests or pot bellies. I can't deal.
Very much so. Very much so. Very
I can't deal. I'm like, dude, if you and I weigh the same, I cannot. I can't
Right.
take you seriously. If when I hug you, my elbows touch behind your back, I can't take you seriously. But they are over there right now. But she never gonna get married. Nobody's gonna like her, right? I'm like, oh, you poor babies, you poor
It was
babies.
painful. It was so
It
painful.
was. It was sad. It was funny. It was sad because the dude is really trying. He's like, "Don't," and then they was somebody said they was abusing me, pero I used to the abuse. You know, so it's weird how they cement everything that we were saying. It's weird. But with that said, eclectic
So,
panel,
I didn't
as
get
we
the-
got. Oh,
I
I didn't
didn't-
even finish talking, sir. White
Sorry.
privilege. I didn't finish talking. He said, fuck the brown girl talking. I got something to say.
I got shit to say.
It's enough
So
about
I
you.
wanted.
I'm gonna
Right.
colonize this conversation.
That's okay. Did you see that? He gave me, he mansplained me. All right. So I will pass the mic. I got the cue, no saint, but I would love for my eclectic panel as we got complimented last night. Okay, I have one of the best panels in all of YouTube. No one looks like this. No one speaks like this. No one thinks like this. And no one disagrees like we do. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. I'm very proud of it. Although someone commented to me today, they was like, that's why you're not growing. I said, bitch, you're here. I'm growing fine.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So panel,
found
please.
us.
Right. You found this and you're here and you're commenting. Thanks for the algorithm push. So, beautiful panel. Introduce yourselves. Please let people know where they can find you because here's the good thing. A lot of people followed me from his little rant that he's going on right now. So we got a lot of new subbies. So we got to be on our best behavior because they're watching. Welcome, new subbies. Lily.
Well, I'm Lily of YB Limited. That's the letter Y, the letter B, the word limited. That is the way it is spelled here on the screen. And you can find me here on YouTube as well as Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok as well. I started my career as a makeup artist and then moved into modeling and acting. And here I am on the block with my team.
And I am Heron DeMarco, musician and music producer. And according to the infamous stream, Angry Man, a young Lawrence Fishburne, and the big ass motherfucker who needs to sit his ass down. Oh, yeah. Oh, I saw a couple of the comments.
Oh, you was that guy?
Oh, I was that guy. Wasn't called unattractive. So as long as I'm not called unattractive, we can go with everything else. But anyway, you can catch me here as Heron.DeMarco on YouTube. And you can catch me on IG as Dangerous_DeMarco.
And I am no saint. You can catch me here on the Block with Jen. You can also catch me on Saint No Saint YouTube, Saint No Saint Instagram, and now Saint No Saint Threads. Thanks to Mr. David, and someone else mentioned it to me during the day, and I was like, I have no idea what Threads is, but now I do.
I still don't.
It is Zuckerberg's fuck you to Elon Musk. He has created a new Twitter that is connected to Instagram and Facebook.
And it got 70 million followers the second day.
Yeah.
So
I have no idea what it's up to today, but a lot. And Elon is pissed. But
and they can have it. I will not be 72 million. I can't do it. I can't.
I don't play with the twatter, so I am all
I don't either. I don't either, but what I'll say is this. It's pretty cool because it takes your Instagram, you can automatically send follow or or they'll follow you. It's like it's connected.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be just like, oh, Mike Tyson's tweeting this. It's actually more interwoven with your Instagram. So I thought it was different because I had Twitter forever and I never get on. I don't.
Yeah, tweet. I didn't either. Yeah.
Devil's advocate. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what I use Twitter for.
Devil's advocate checking in. Here's how I look at it. Just my opinion. People could be like, fuck off, Jen. I don't care. I want to spend my entire life on social media. Mm-hmm. It is just another platform where you're going to say the same exact shit to the same exact people. All these platforms limit your reach. You're not going to, you're not going to run into, let's say, your favorite sportscaster, your athlete. It is literally, they keep piling on app after app after app, and then they limit your reach. Now, I would be with it if Facebook really lets me talk to 5,000 people. If Instagram really lets me talk to the 10,000 people I have following me, I would love it. I will be for it. But in my opinion, and factually, what do you call it? The
algorithm?
No. The what you get back. What's that word?
Oh, the return of investment.
Right. Exactly. The return of investment of the countless life hours that you spend trying to promote yourself. There's no return, right? Unless you're buying fake followers. But then the major brands like Pepsi know you bought fake followers. So it's just another, it's great for Zuckerberg. It puts more billions in his pocket, but it takes more time out of my life. And I don't have time because I don't have $1 billion like Zuckerberg. So I was like, Threads, Freds, Greds, fuck you. I'm not doing it. I have a Twitter. I barely use the Twitter. And another thing is that these apps are always beautiful when they start, and then they start getting corrupt. Black threads will pop up in about a week. It's going to be black threads. And then racist threads will pop up in another week. And then before you know it, you're on another hamster wheel, except it has a different logo. I'm not doing it. I'm barely doing this shit. I don't like social media. I'm trying to hit a lick so my assistant could deal with that, because I'm pissed off as it is, all the fucking hours I put into this with nothing in return. So I'm like,
and
they limit your reach. So no, it's not for me. I mean, God bless you, and atheists, God bless you to whoever's enjoying it. I hope you have fun, but I'm not talking to the same 50 motherfuckers on Threads, on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram. I'm not doing it.
Well, see, another thing is that when they first start, they don't limit your reach as much.
Right.
And they get you hooked. And then all of a sudden your reach just shrinks, and then you start it just starts being like that drug thing when you trying to get that same high again that you was originally getting. So yeah, it's a
I mean, when you think about it, it's a great gimmick. Like, you start out and they give you all these people and you're like, yes, I'm reaching these people, they're hearing me, and then it dwindles, and before you know it, like you said, Lily, you're chasing that high, you're chasing that I'm gonna drop this and 500 people again. It's all very psychological. It's very, very smart,
abusive.
Intelligent. Yeah, it's abusive as well.
My whole thing is that like I said, I don't really use Twitter anyway, but the fact that he's limiting how many characters, how many tweets you can read, I'm like, you know what? This dude needs to be taken down. I'm tired of Elon Musk anyway. I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and delete Twitter and go to this other platform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
but
is
the funny thing
literally
is-
my MO too. Like,
Here's the thing, but here's what's funny. You think you're sticking it to the man. Tomorrow he wakes up a billionaire.
Yeah, true.
Tomorrow you wake up a regular guy. So you're not sticking it to anybody. You know
Well,
what I
he
mean?
doesn't want
It's
to
like-
lose though. He's already
Yeah,
he's pissed.
but check this out. Him
like Trump.
losing is losing to another billionaire.
True.
Like, is it really a loss?
True.
It's like, I'm a billionaire, Lily's a billionaire, and we asked you who's prettier, and then Lily wins, and I'm like, fuck, and then I go to my island in Hawaii. So, but it's like the vote. It's a mind fuck to make you think you're really moving the needle with these guys. You're not. That is why that is why you can't sit across from him. Who can sit across from him? Again, I say the people on his level, the people with money, not us, not the people voting. I'm gonna leave Twitter. I'll stick it to Elon. And then 50,000 people bought Tesla.
I would tell you, social media is
No, I
the
would buy
most.
a Tesla.
So,
I like them. I like the Tesla.
I
I'm not gonna
like
lie.
the Tesla too, but social
I
media is
wouldn't.
literally
I'd rather have a
most,
Lucid. Sorry.
a Lucid. Okay, is the most abusive relationship I've ever been in. Like,
Which one? Which one?
social media.
Oh,
All of
yeah.
it.
Oh,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
collectively. I mean, because it's like it's that relationship where there are benefits from it. Like I built my career from it on the other side of the coin.
Mhm.
Oh, all of the things. I don't even have to go into all of the things. There's just so many things, right? So it's like this double-edged sword with this thing. And I promise you, the moment I'm in a position where I can delete all this shit, I will. The moment, like if I could do it this moment, I'm like, sorry guys, I gotta go. So, yeah, but no, I mean, I get it, but it's just a necessary evil. We gotta do it. We gotta do it. There's no way
Well,
around it.
Well, I understand why Zuckerberg did it. Great business move on his end because he did it right at the moment where people got upset about the limited
Yep.
character with Twitter. So he was like, let me head this off at the pass because if that shit goes down, there's going to be a whole vacuum of people who are used to that particular culture, used to that particular look, used to that particular energy. And they're going to want to go somewhere. So the man just saw an opportunity to get it before somebody else can, and he took it. And plus,
And Zuck has been losing a lot of money.
him and Elon have this little girl fight thing that they got going on. You know what I mean? They want to fight each other in the MMA.
Is it? Wait a minute. No. Okay, Haran. You want to fight early. Let me tell you something right now.
Her flimsy cap.
You said him and Elon got this little girl thing. That is the nature of men. That is why y'all watch
They're being
sports. It has nothing to do with
competitive.
us girls.
They're being competitive.
Right. That's a man thing. That's a man thing.
I'm referring to them as having a women's fight because they're built like 40-year-old middle-aged women. So that's why I said they're having a little Golden Girls fight. You know what I mean?
Don't say golden girls. Say guys. Thank you so much, B Love. Welcome to the channel, lady. Hopefully one day we'll get you up here on the panel. If not, enjoy from the chat.
Oh, y'all
Where-
Thank you so much for being here.
Forgiveness. Oh, you caught me on the right night.
What
Where,
happened?
where's this channel at? I want to see what these people look like. I was
Oh, you want
that
to
other one?
it's that
We'll put it in the back chat because then I'm not promoting them.
oh.
right.
One of them literally.
I tell people that all the time. I don't promote you. You promote me.
Right.
Speaking of which,
came back from rehab, like Siri. Just came
Huh?
back from
Yeah.
rehab meeting.
No, they look terrible. Like it's sad. It's like kind of like the reject table in high school, right?
boy,
It's
Yep.
like it's those guys. It's those. She ain't do. That's why nobody want her. I'm like, oh baby, oh you poor thing.
So cute. Poor little.
Oh,
I'm
my.
so sorry.
If
I hate that for you.
and speaking of promotion, I'm David Hand. That's Mr. David
Oh,
Hand.
shit.
You can find me on Instagram mostly. I am a fashion model and runway model here in New York City, recovering from 35 years as a corporate creative director, and now on the block with these fine folks.
And
Always been.
recovering from being looked over.
Because we cannot control our mouths on this
No.
channel.
No.
That's why you love us.
Exactly.
All right, so let's get into this.
Okay.
Which one?
And
What are we getting into?
Right. And I am Jen, the most
Because that's what we said in
masculine,
yours.
the most masculine woman you'll ever meet.
I'm gonna start calling you bro.
Okay. Please do. I'm the most. That's what they were all saying. She masculine. I'm like, honey, you should want to grow up one day and be as masculine as this bitch. You know what I'm saying? I am, baby. Okay, I'm the most masculine woman you will ever.
I think I know what it is, though. I think I know what it is, and I told Jen this. In the world of BDSM for such a long time.
Where are we going?
Much of the dynamic that I'm seeing in terms of so many of you men is that she talks down to you, she abuses you, she says all these horrible things, but you still come back.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like a masochistic relationship.
And he
It
even said he was
is.
coming back.
It sounds like a very
couldn't.
masochistic relationship. You seem as if you enjoy the punishment. You enjoy having your nuts stepped on and so on. Because, hey, you can always leave. You can always leave. You can always not come back, but you just still need to come back. And it's just a very strange thing because the women that you want her to be are out there begging you, begging you to pay attention to them.
Yeah.
You won't.
Yeah. But wait, there's something there, Haran. Do you think that this is undiscovered submissives? Like maybe they don't even know that they are, because I treat them really bad. And there was a lady over on the channel. What did she say? It was, I mean, read it and freaking understand what you do. They don't understand. What did she say in that chat where he's allegedly trying to drag me?
I gotta go find the super chat that she sent. It was a super chat. So I mean,
Oh.
she wanted these motherfuckers to read that shit. But to paraphrase, she was basically saying that she is behaving this way at the ripe old age, or at the ripe age of 50, and she will continue to behave that way because you guys essentially keep giving her sexual energy, while other women who don't behave that way, you continue to ignore them.
Very true.
She sounded like a woman who really had some real issues going on with not being the one who was picked, even though she wants to give as much as love and attention that these guys are claiming that they want. My thing is like this: what you want, no matter what you want in this world, there's some way to get it. Trust me. I used to work in the porn business on the dev side. There's something for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
For everybody.
It is phenomenal because, you know, men have come up here and tried me and tested me and I berated them. I mean, tore them limb from limb, Dracaris. Burnt them down to the bone marrow. And they always come back. They have to be 86th or escorted out. They keep coming back and coming back. I wouldn't come back if someone said 1/10 of the shit to me that I've said to them. So there has to be a psychological glitch. There has to be a psychological glitch. It's like, I used to think it was just like, well, when else is somebody that looks like Team Fatty going to interact with me in real life? When else is he going to get a woman like me to give him attention? A woman that looks like me with my experience, with my looks, with my network. When is a Team Fatty going to walk into a room and be able to sit with me and converse with me unless he's fine or has a lot of money? The answer is never. And I think that's why these guys frequent these spaces, because it's like, I'll get to interact with a pretty girl even if she's telling me I'm a piece of shit. At least I got to speak with someone who's attractive and out of my league today. And I really think that has a lot to do with it. But now, you know, Haran, he put a little frosting on it. I'm like, maybe it's deeper than that. Maybe they're enjoying the abuse. You know how it's like bad attention is better than no attention?
No, I've seen it. I came to that conclusion about certain men in my 20s. You know, that's why I always say when people are like, oh, I want peace. I just want peace. No, the fuck they don't. Because if they wanted it, they will go get it.
Right.
Exactly. The unevolved Pisces will give you that. Unevolved Pisces are the most, and I'm a Pisces, and I'm gonna tell you, my favorite people are evolved Pisces. The unevolved Pisces, I run fast and far away from, right? But it's those type of people that will say one thing but just keep running into the fire.
Yes.
It's because they really do get a high off of it. There's a real like adrenaline that comes from it, right? Because if you were nice and sweet and stuff like that, they'll be bored to death and they'll be gone. They wouldn't be back. They'll go find someone to go cuss them out.
Absolutely.
There's guys who only date women who cuss them the fuck out, like seriously, or berate them and treat them like shit. I've seen it a million times, and then but they all say the same thing. I just want peace. I just want da. But then they do it again and again and again and again. So yeah, he fits that criteria totally.
And you know, No Saint, I see what you put in the private chat. Here's the thing: like everybody that comes up here. Or stays in the chat doesn't like us. Like they don't really like us. They just like to be like where it's kind of, I'm telling you, this whole thing is like high school, like the cool kids table, right? It doesn't mean that they won't. Yeah, it doesn't mean that they won't come around and still resent you. Like you said, homegirl is over there with a wrench, but then she's in my DM begging for money, right? So it's like people, you know, just because someone's around you doesn't mean that they like you. They're very parasitic. Too. It's like, I don't like this guy or I don't like this girl. However, the crumbs that fall off of this person in that network, I can do something with, I can survive off of. So, you know, it's
yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily blame. I mean, people watch different channels, you know.
Absolutely.
They get a wrench, but I just thought it interesting. I was like, oh, I'm seeing some people in there that show up over here sometimes. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, everybody goes everywhere. Like
I just want to say a few things. And this is in regards to me on the panel. I know you guys have your little jokes or whatever. It's cool. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. Men such as myself and the men that I hang around with, we come from a particular different ilk. The ilk of men who, when there's an emergency or when the clutch play needs to happen, the 3 a.m. call because things need to get done, men such as myself are the ones who get called. Now, it's usually not the guy that's you. You want that guy to be you. And there comes a time maybe when someone actually gives you the ball, when someone actually gives you the responsibility. But what usually happens, you drop it. And the moment you drop it, you make excuses. And you blame the other person because you said they gave it to you too fast. Blah, blah, blah. You weren't ready. Now, look, listen. When it comes to my team, this team right here, through the ups and the downs, I have always told myself to stand firm. Because even when things go awry, I'm not cracking. I'm not breaking. Because from my perspective, there always has to be somebody who believes that we're going to cross the finish line. No matter when that happens, and if we have to go through it, if we have to use literal blunt force trauma or go through whomsoever to get there, then that's what's going to happen. Men such as yourself, you don't understand that because you're not built that way. You tell yourself you're built that way, but you usually admire men who are built that way. And that is why you get treated in the manner that you do.
Yeah. Especially by women, you know, but it's like, does it go on does it fall on deaf ears? I am of the belief, like, yeah, I use the movie 300 as a metaphor a lot, but isn't it just like the people that are great are very far and few in between?
Absolutely.
Regarding humans. Now, of course,
that's where the word average comes from.
Right. I mean, of course, the grandma in me is gonna be like, "Oh, baby, we all worth it. We all, honey, you're cute too." But then there's reality, right? Then there's like, it's very rare that people are great or good or gifted or talented. That's why when you go to a concert, the arena is full of people in seats, and there's one person on stage, right? That is like the best example I can think of. That's life in general. We sit up here and we talk about Elon and Zuckerberg, but here we are, right? So there's, huh?
I told you the bitch. I told you.
James over there crying.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's yeah. James had to go. James
James over there crying.
You know, but isn't that like, So it's like no matter how we try to explain it, it's like talking to a wall. No matter how many times we told that child yesterday, you're wrong, you sound stupid, you're overly emotional. We have mature men on the panel who are explaining to him. And I even doubled back. I said, listen, they're trying to teach you something. And it was like talking to a wall. So is it even worth addressing? There's a hiss, like an echo. Thank you. What do you guys think about that? Like it's like talking to a wall, and that is why they got thrown over the cliff in 300.
Well, here's the thing. I am all for the wall in 300. I am all for that. But you have very strong matriarchal instincts, and I respect you for that. A lot of the times when you say what you say, it's really you just providing tough love. It's really you just trying to hopefully speak to these people and something clicks. But as you can see, James is over there dry snitching because he's a sucker. And I always said this guy was a fucking sucker the moment he fucking, appeared, because I know a sucker when I see one. And they never cease to drop the ball. So men such as that, it is kind of like talking to deaf ears, because in the end, they just want to be held. They just want to be coddled and told and convinced that it's not your fault. You're not good enough. Men, period. This is race agnostic. If you're not that great, there's a swath of men who just want to be told that it's not your fault, that you're not that great. It's just the world is too harsh, and people need to be more forgiving and more inclusive and so on and so forth. But that's not real life. That is not nature. I think can't beat is nature.
Yeah, I think that listen, not everybody's gonna be the guy pushing the society forward, but not everybody's supposed to either. I mean, you have the alpha, and in the military, we had a alpha male when I was in Afghanistan, and we all fell in line. He was the leader. He was the senior master sergeant, and he looked it. Had the cigar in his mouth, and we heard M50 fired, and we were ready to go dive in the foxhole, and we were coming out the tent, and he basically said, "Get your ass back in the tent." And we turned around and got our ass back in the tent, even though our instincts were saying we need to be jumping in a hole somewhere, So, I mean, I don't listen. Like Jen was saying last night, everybody needs to know their role. Everybody needs to play their role that they're in, and not everybody's alpha, and not everybody. There's very few. I mean, there's throughout the centuries and millennials that have made a difference for all of us. But those guys are very few and far between. And then, on different levels, you have people that are head of their company, or the best worker, or whatever. There's those guys too. So yeah, I mean, that's all. I mean, I don't, if you're not that guy, you're not that guy. But I don't think it's anything to shame people about. And I don't think you guys are. I'm just saying, like, you got to have the workers too.
We have to have the workers, and I'm for shaming. I think shaming should be brought back. I think that the word has been misused, overused and misused. And the reason why I say that is because you have to keep order. With YouTube, we have had the subordinates, the people that are supposed to be. You're talking about the military, right? There was a sergeant or whatever. Imagine a military where all the soldiers are trying to act and look and walk and talk like the sergeant, though they're not the sergeant, right? That would cause chaos. Then there's no order. In the military, you know your rank, right? Even when I don't like somebody, I respect the rank. And I use that, the military is way more serious. But when I look at Andrew Tate, I don't have to like Andrew Tate, but I respect the fucking rank. He knew how to play people to the point where it catapulted him to millions of dollars. We're all trying to succeed and be the best we can be. So I salute somebody who's able to do it. Now, he did it using a bunch of like the team fatties, the rejects, she gonna be single, she masculine. He used those motherfuckers, stepped all over them, right? And became a millionaire, and they loved him even more for it. A lot of these motherfuckers, they love the abuse. They want to be used. They want to be the subordinate of these people. Same thing with Kevin Samuels kittens. Okay?
Kitten heels. Mm-hmm.
right? I call his followers the kittens, Kevin's
Mhm.
kittens.
Yeah, because
So
they
you
were
have-
the kitten heels, the smaller
Right.
kitten
So
heels.
you got Kevin's kittens and you got Tate's tater tots, right? So shaming is necessary because you have to put people back in their place or you don't have order. You don't have order. So imagine, again, I ask in the military, all the soldiers trying to act like the sergeant, there would be fucking chaos and there would be 86 out of the military. You don't know how to take orders. You don't know your place. You don't know that you don't have the rank that this man has. You got to go. But with YouTube, it gave everybody a mic and a screen. And they think that because we let them on this panel, that they're on the same level as we are, and chaos begins, right? So we have to shame them so they go running back to their other channel and congregate with the other losers. And that is where they remain. And it's interesting because one guy was like, oh, that's why you have an echo chamber. That's why your channel's not growing. When we actually have the opposite. They have an echo chamber. Everybody over there is like, yeah, fuck on the block with Jen, yeah, right? And then the people that are not agreeing with them, Team Fatty is getting pissed off. Well, what happened? I thought you could take disagreement. Team Fresh off the boat. You know, so no, I disagree with you, No Saint. I think there should be shaming. There should be loud shaming. That let them die on the vine, throw them over the cliff in the movie 300 if they don't know how to stay in their
Well,
place.
But this is the thing. We got some
If.
examples, some current examples right now, right? Right now, because we've let everyone's special, everyone's can be whatever you want to be, and now look what the fuck has happened. Like we got the crazies running the crazy house, right? Because there is no shaming, there is no like truth telling. No, bitch, you can't sing. No, you have no talent.
Can't
Go
rap.
sit in the audience. You can't rap. Go sit in the audience where you belong.
I blame the Kardashians.
Oh, yes, yes. Because I remember
like
the
for
days
real.
of listening to the radio, and I'm just sitting back and I'm vibing, and I'm thinking, see, that's why they on the radio, and I'm not. But now you listen to the radio, you're like, damn, I can do that. I mean, shit. I mean, let me just pick up my phone and record something real quick, right? Because it's just no standards anymore, and people do not know their place. They don't know their place in a relationship. They don't know their place in the workforce. They don't know their place anywhere but, like you say, when they go into the car dealership. Oh, they know their place then, right? They know
Right.
their place then.
Yes. I say that all the time. Mm-hmm.
Well, Lily, to your point, one of the main reasons why I see so much support for people, let's just say for people who have no talent and so on, it's because it really doesn't cost them anything. It doesn't really cost them anything to say, oh yeah, keep pushing, blah blah blah. I noticed that the tunes always change when you say, well, would you buy a fucking ticket? Would you buy the album? What if your cousin has this idea that you keep saying, yeah, go for it? Would you invest in them? Then all of a sudden the conversation changes because now you got something to lose. Now it's something bigger than you just giving somebody a attaboy, and you got to actually do the work. You got to actually risk something. So we live in a society where people have all these ideas and all these, fist bumps and so on and so forth because it doesn't cost anything. Like for example, the debate about the student loan forgiveness and so on and so forth. Look, listen, it's easy to get mad when in regards to that, because the people who are most likely going to have to pay for it is the middle class. You don't got no fucking money. No one's going to tax you. No one's going to tax the rich either. So it's the middle class who are going to have to sit there and take the brunt of it. So it's easy for you, broke as you are, to say that, well, they should have did this and should have did that. And the irony of it is that a lot of you didn't even go to college in the first fucking place. So you're worried about something that you really have no dog in the fight. It's just a piece of political banter for you to climb up upon. And I'm also say this one thing too: the anger about affirmative action. Look, listen, whatever you think about it, from my understanding is that you're constantly saying that you don't need white people. So if you're constantly saying that you don't need white people, why are you upset that affirmative action was taken away? If you don't need their sanctions, if you don't need their help, if you don't need any of these things, you should have no issue with affirmative action being taken away. But I continuously see so many, black people, getting up in arms with it. And I would also say that most of the people who benefited from that was white women. So that's another, topic entirely. Anyway.
I just want to add some things. Everybody on that channel that I see in the chat has a wrench, so I don't think anybody.
Oh, we don't care. No, saying we don't care. Listen,
Okay.
if the girl came over here, we'd let her up. I'm not attached to these.
No.
people.
I'm just saying.
Care.
I think it's funny.
care.
Like everybody has a wrench.
Yeah, I mean
you get a wrench.
That's how
and
he's.
You get a wrench.
Yeah, that's how he's hustling it. That's exactly how he's hustling it. No,
I wanted to say on something you said. I agree that people that are upside down on where they belong in the pecking order should be batted down. There are people in the military that make rank that don't get respected. Now you have to listen to what they say. Yeah. The guy I'm talking about, you'd respect him if regardless. He was, no matter what. I mean, he had the look, he chiseled. He had the look, the muscles, the attitude, and the cigar.
You need the cigar.
He had that cigar.
And the energy. He had the energy.
And I met people throughout my career in the military that you wanted to listen to. And they didn't have to yell at you or diminish you. It was just like you fell in line. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just wanted to get that clear that, I understand what you're saying. Sure, if the inmates are running the asylum, then
can't have that.
Need to smack down,
Whatchamacallit? Tyrone Church says, so everyone has no purpose in life. Everyone can if they want, but everybody does not. I don't know why, I don't know why humans think that they're so fucking special. Like, we're another fucking species. In the animal kingdom, the weak get eaten, the weak get left behind. It's the same thing with humans, but humans tell other humans that no matter how fucked up they are, and religion does this a lot, no matter how much of a fucking fuck up you are, you matter. And that is not true. It's not true. And it's harsh to hear. And people are like, but that's not true. Some people are fucking born. They're a fucking menace to society their entire life. And what do we want to do? We want to dissect them. Well, maybe his mother didn't. Oh, maybe his dad. Oh, yeah. And then he goes running. He hurts people over and over again. You know what I mean? He's a menace to society. So some people, no, not everybody has a purpose. Everybody can. Everybody born on this planet can have a purpose. They can.
They just don't choose to.
Right. It's a choice. It's really a choice. But I don't believe in the you're born, therefore you are, therefore you matter. No, you don't. It doesn't even happen with birds. It doesn't happen with lizards. It doesn't happen with tigers. Why do people think it happens with human beings? I don't understand. I don't get it.
I personally...
And I have the biggest heart ever. But even I know.
Right.
You got to go.
But see, Jen, I learned this lesson the hard way because I was one of those people. Oh my God, I was the potential princess. Okay. If I saw a little, what is it, a mustard seed of potential? Oh,
I think all women start that way, though.
Yeah,
Liam.
we do.
Why do you do it? Why do you do it? Why do you girls do it? Why do you?
This is why we do it. Here's my answer. Because it's funny. Over on the channel, they were like, yeah, she dated, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. The reason why we do it is because it's innate. It's innate. So it's kind of like asking us, why do men, it's like me asking a man, why do you guys compete? Why are you competitive with other men? Why are you fighting for space? By nature, we are naturally nurturers. We care, we this, but like anything else that's good, it can be abused and misused and all that other shit. So what makes women beautiful is the same thing that is used against us. Okay, and that's fucked up, but that's life.
Okay, so for the both of you, put both in the hot seat. So is there, to be frank and honest, are you saying that natural instinct that you have, there were men in your life who abused that and they turned out to not be shit?
Correct.
Yes.
Yes. Now let me continue. Do you still hold that degree of resentment, or the biggest thing right now that you have is that you experienced it it didn't work out, but you still see in these streets that same thing is being asked for, and it's not and based on your own experiences, it doesn't lead to anything, because you're not the only women out there who are doing this, who did that before, are doing it now, and these men aren't living up to their potential. So are you upset because you're seeing a recurring issue that doesn't continue to correct itself? Am I making sense on that?
I
It's
love
a
that
form of
question.
insanity. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this. I don't have a resentment at all. I took full responsibility for my part in it. I chose to be with this person. I chose to be with them as long as I was. But at some point, I had to realize, like, this what made me. I think with age and time, right? Because what I had to do was go back and look and be like, you know what? I look at everyone that I put into with it, and the answer is 100% of them were still in the same place I left them at years to this day. Still there. The same issue still exists till this day, right? And so, and David was funny. David, we know somebody in common who came up to me today, you know, and I'm like, oh,
Oh
no, no,
shit.
no. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, no, 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 no. The same issue still exists, right?
Jesus.
And so that's why it's annoying, and it does trigger you. It triggers me. Let me put it on. It triggers me when that same thing presents itself, and I'm like, oh, I know this movie, I know this show. Get away from me! Like, I don't want nothing to do, because I choose to today put my energy into people who put their energy into themselves.
Okay,
It's as
so
simple as
here's a
that.
bigger question. Here's a bigger question. Thank you so much for answering that. Do you feel that going through what you went through, there was a degree of wasted time, wasted years, and your intention is to keep these women from wasting their years and their time dealing with men who demanded the same thing from you and did not bring a solid ROI?
So let me answer your first question, because it's an excellent question. Um, when in my younger years, yeah, I was chock full of resentment. How dare
Oh yeah.
thee? I put all this time and work in. How dare you? Blah blah. And then as you get older and you do more research and you learn yourself and you study psychology and you start seeing patterns, you get curious, so you start reading to find out what this is, and you just take a step back from relationships and you just look around. You look at your parents, your friends, your cousins, your sister, your brother, your exes, their family. You're like, wait a minute, let me assess. Because when we're young, we just jump in. We're horny, we fall in love. We're not thinking of any baggage whatsoever. So when I was younger, yeah, I resented greatly. And then I got older and I was like, well, Jen, the reason why women X, Y, and Z is because innately blah, blah. The reason why men act this way is because innately blah, blah. And then you mix that in with all the baggage and the psychological damage that happens. And then when you understand a thing, you're no longer triggered or angered by a thing. It's so funny when people come here and they accuse me of being triggered. I'm like, shit, you don't know anything about entertainment. If you're not fucking me, or fucking with my money, or fucking with my family, you cannot trigger me. It is scientifically impossible. Now, you're going to get me to yell because I'm Puerto Rican and I got to give you all a list. New York City, 456 train, bitches, Puerto Rican flag. I have to give you that. It's entertainment. I love it. I love yelling. I love talking loud. I'm a passionate woman, but I'm not quote unquote triggered. Now, if you were fucking me, fucking with my money, fucking with my family, and I include my friends and my family. When I say fam, I mean it. Okay? If you're not fucking with those three things, you cannot trigger me, sir, ma'am, whoever you are. So I don't get triggered by it. I'm just like, now I'm older, so I assess. I'm like, what's going on here? Why is this going on, right? And how did I contribute to this thing? This is why I don't have an all-woman panel and bashing men all the time. Like, that's what they try to say on other channels. Like, she's bashing men. She doesn't like black men. I've done more for black men, okay, than the fucking NOI. Don't come at me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Don't come at me, bro. Right? But people have to paint narratives because it's content for them, and because you hold a mirror to them, and you're representing, as great as you may be, something that they don't like or somewhere they fail. Right? But it's a great question, because Again, women innately want to nurture and help, but then we get caught up. And I'll wrap on this so you can ask your second question. I say over and over again, men and women are reared to be polar opposites. And it is hell when we grow up and start to interact, because you have one gender that was raised to conquer pussy, to go out there, to not have feelings, to blah, blah, to you know what I mean? Get out there, attaboy, have no feeling, punch you in the chest, get in it, you know. And then women, you raised to be the pull up, close your legs, you're a slut otherwise, you be good, you be coy, you stay in the house, you put up with men are from the streets, you have to do sugar and spice and everything nice. And now you want these two things to interact and coexist under the same roof? And you're wondering why the divorce rate is sky high and why women file first? Because women realize all them years you've been fucking me in the ass about be this, that, and the third, and then he leaves me for the hoe? He cheated on me with the woman you told me not to be liked? Somebody lied to me, Jack.
Right. That's when you know the lies. You say, hold up.
So that's where, going back to what you asked, Haran, that is why women become resentful. Because you're like, my whole life I has to fight, and you told me to be this thing. You told me to be this thing, and he left me for Cardi B. That's why women get mad. Like it's like, no, you know, but what's your second question? But that's why we go all out for men, and men take advantage of it.
So that wasted time for both of you again. So that wasted time that you experienced, everything that you experienced, and now you're seeing the same thing keep occurring. It feels like a nonstop issue. You're trying to keep the women out there from making the same decisions you might have made. No saying, could you please mute your mic? You know what I mean? You're trying to keep the women from out there from making the same mistakes you may have made. And maybe the examples of the men who are asking all of you women for this grace is even worse than the men.
Yeah. And here's the thing, what I don't like to do, right? I like to give the younger women in my family and my friends, I know plenty of 20-year-olds. I end up booking gigs with women that are in their 20s. Don't want to brag, but so when I'm in holding with these young girls and I hear their conversations and they're talking about their boyfriends, this one's crying about her boyfriend, blah, blah, I'm not the doom and gloom auntie. I'm not like, them motherfuckers ain't shit. Don't waste your time. Cause let me tell you, don't wait till you get my age to realize niggas ain't shit. I don't do that. I don't do that. These girls are young. They're forming who they are. I simply give advice. Baby, in 30 years, 20 years, you may not be thinking about this. So I just suggest that you never lose focus of what it is you want to do for yourself. Like, guys are always going to be there. Guys, we love them. We can't live without them. But never lose focus of what you want to do for yourself, because you may regret it later if you put the time into the wrong person. So I try to go at the young women I know like that, because you don't want to doom and gloom anybody.
No.
I don't want to doom and gloom young men either. Right? You don't want to be that nasty ogre, that bitter person, because a lot of women out here like, if it ain't shit, and then they're raising little girls like that. And no, I'm not that, but I will try to warn them. Warning.
I
Go
do
have
my
fun,
warning
but-
like that. Oh, you're more PC than me. I always go, you crying? You're crying? Like, this is the best time to be a hoe. Go be a hoe. What are you doing crying over one man? What are you talking about? You're 25. Like, this is the best time to go out and explore and see what you like and see what you don't like and things like that. Because what you don't want is to not do it now and then regret it and do it later. Like, this is the best time to do it. Like, and
because you may not look like me at 50, honey. You're taking a chance now.
You're taking some chances, baby. Just saying.
Look, listen, I understand where both of you are coming from, because there are men in their 50s who are still claiming to have potential. I don't know when potential is supposed to kick in. I don't know, whatever.
Potential for ED? What?
I mean, you're literally half dead, you know what I mean, at that point in time. But it is what it is. I'm going to speak from my own perspective because I don't really talk about my story. It's really none of anyone's business, but I'll be a bit candid. I've gone through my life having to deal with the fact that Jen knows much about my life. She knows a lot. And I didn't have 80 to 90% of the things so many of you had. And this is race agnostic. A lot of you had siblings. You came from 2-parent homes. A number of you were well off. I grew up with, I didn't have cousins. I didn't have much of a support system. I was a single, only child, single mother from Jamaica. She started out as a mammy. Yeah, I was the son of a housekeeper, a Jewish family when I was younger. Seeing her work, the work ethic that she put in me, in the end, she owns her own home and she's a retired college professor and a Columbian alumni. I am a lead software engineer for a World Bank. I see a number of you had a number of the things that I never had, a number of the opportunities that I wish I had, but you still turned out to be a fucking loser. So under those circumstances, I look at you, how am I going to sit here and say, no, maybe you just have a predisposition to be a loser? Because I literally sat at the fucking poker table with the worst fucking hand, one of the worst fucking hands at the table. You had a better hand and you couldn't beat me. That says more about you than it does, about the game being played. Maybe it's just not about the game, bro. Maybe you just can't win, or maybe you can't believe you can win. That's it. That's an entirely different topic. And there's a set of men such as myself. A lot of people say that I pander or whatever. No, there's just a set of men such as myself who just want to be separated from all these other guys. There needs to be a line drawn. No,
those ain't the homies. Those ain't the homies.
This ain't the homies, man. Those are whatever they are over there, whatever they want to call themselves. But we want dignity, we want pride, we want power. We want to ensure, that these women understand that we can be the mates that they need to be going forward. And we're not with the crying and the bullshit. I pass the mic on that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. So you had a list of plausible excuses and you just chose not to use any of them.
So I just want to, from my own desk, very interesting story popped up.
Oh.
Okay, so allegedly, Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian have been on, have been up and about with each other. Allegedly. I don't know. Now on, here's People News saying Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady seen talking at A-list party. Motherfuckers threw that shit in real quick saying they are not in a relationship, says the source. Nothing romantic is going on between Kim Kardashian and Tom Brady, but one source, Skim founder, has a crush on him. Sure she does. Kardashian 42 and Brady 45 were both in attendance for Michael Rubin's star-studded white party in the Hamptons over the 4th of July weekend. Though rumors have swirled about a romance between the duo, two sources tell People that the pair had minimum interaction at the festive gathering. They said hi briefly when he arrived at the party. Now, here's where my ears were perked up a bit. Seems that a particular individual felt that he had to throw his 2 cents in the situation to ensure that Tom Brady didn't go down a particular path. The individual by the name by Dave Portnoy, he has a particular video out. You can check it out. I don't want to post it right here because my camera, share camera is kind of fucked up. But anyway, Dave basically says, he tells Tom, we can't date Kim Kardashian, but we can hook up with her in a motel.
Oh.
Not dating a Kardashian. Now, Dave is a American blogger, so on and so forth, but he's basically telling that white man, she's been touched by the blackness. We don't do that. Now, listen, here's the thing. Gina Jameson, for those who are porn aficionados, such as myself.
I wouldn't know who she is.
Gina Jameson,
Not the white, not the white blonde lady. I wouldn't know who she is. Not at all.
Gina Jameson was notoriously known.
Do you mean Jenna Jameson?
Jenna, whatever. I don't know. The white woman. Jenna,
Blonde hair.
I mean, I'm just guessing. I wouldn't know.
You wouldn't know either.
You know
No.
what I mean? But this situation here, Jenna was notoriously known for being adamant about not doing scenes with black men. Adamant about not doing scenes with black men. And the reason being that she knew that if she did so, her value would plummet.
Oh, shit.
And I've heard that many times.
She said that. Many white porn actresses, that is also their stance. They refuse to sleep with black men because, well, they don't want to have their, they don't want the price of pussy to go down. Word is also that I'm also told that prostitutes are leery about giving pussy to black men. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. The point of the matter is this. I also stated to Jen, based on my own observation, a lot of the fat black women that I've seen when they decide to date out the race, one of them first things they do is drop the weight. I noticed that Kim Kardashian, she's been going in the direction of a lot of white men lately. She got rid of that BBL, and those abs are popping. And she dropped some weight. So here's the thing. What I've often noticed. Whenever it's time to date white or date out of the race of blackness, everybody always makes sure that their ducks are in a row. They always make sure to present the best version of themselves whenever dealing with that sect of men. You're muted, darling. Martin, you're muted.
You're skating here. You're skating, and I'm sure people are getting lost. You're saying people, when they're dating white people, they make sure that they're at their best. Who's those people? What people make sure that they're at their best?
I was referring to in terms of Kim Kardashian. It seems as if the dropping of the BBL, and getting in a particular shape, she looks leaner. She looks much leaner.
Oh, they definitely, all of them, all three of them lost a lot of weight.
Oh, they definitely look leaner. They definitely look a particular way, not just, I would say, the antithesis of what they were doing when they were dating mostly black men. But anyway, the point is I'm making is that when I use that with also heavy black women, it just seems that a particular look and a particular mindset is adopted when dating outside of their race, particularly with white men. Now, the point here is that I'm making. This is the point here that I'm making. I can understand why that's the case, because white men are on a particular level in terms of social hierarchy. Dating white, a black woman, if she dates white, she will experience a particular degree of privilege, particularly with her children. It's one of the main reasons why a lot of them do that. One of the reasons why a number of divestors tell black women do two things: lose the attitude and lose the weight when you're dating outside of the race. Anyway, I'm going to pass the mic on that. Don't want to be too long-winded, but I have a few other points to make. Anyway, go ahead.
Interesting.
Well, I just have one thing that's ironic. What's ironic is that I can't remember the exact line, but Kanye said the same thing in one of his songs. It's just very ironic. But this was pre-Kim Kardashian that he made that line saying pretty much the price goes down when she fucks a black guy. And then he married Kim Kardashian. So I find that pretty ironic. And then now you see she's done making all of these changes to go to date the white guys again, because she knew that that's the standard. The standard's different. The standard's different.
So is it just, you know what I mean? She knows she's dating, well, she's targeting basically a different demographic.
Right.
She knows black athletes like huge old asses and huge old tits, rappers like huge old asses and huge old tits, and white men do not. They're just not into that look. So I'm sure her and her momager probably got together and be like, white men are not walking around with you looking like a blow-up doll, like a swollen, botched blow-up doll, but black men love that look.
Well, I think it's bigger than that, especially when you're dealing with white men prestige. They
Mhm.
have standards.
Mm-hmm.
They have a line you're not gonna cross.
I mean, how is Tom going to go from, I'm sorry, from
I mean, it is
Giselle
what it is. No, seriously.
to, how is Tom going to go from Giselle to Kim Kardashian?
Right.
I'm sorry. How does that even happen?
The point here that I'm making is that very often I would just enjoy if our people would have the same standards when it comes to dating out, and when it comes to dating, when it comes to their lives, period. Because here you have a sect of people that are the connection to that is that they enslaved you, they oppressed you, they did all these horrible things these things that you constantly keep telling everybody that they do, and so on and so forth. But yet, when it comes to social mobility, you have no problem fucking them. So it's not really that big of a deal when it comes to power. You're trying to obtain power, so all of these ills that you can't claim is important, they're not really that important if you have the opportunity to advance socially. And that is one of the points that I'm making right now.
Right, but that's not. It's a great segue into the power conversation, but that's not gender specific though,
No,
because
it's not gender specific. No,
black
it's not.
men
It's-
act like worse groupies and bitches, you know, when white men enter the room. I've been in situations where, you know,
Absolutely.
black men are DMing me, inboxing me and hey, say this on your post because I can't say it. I'm like, motherfucker, you 6'2", 200 cell. Why are you scared to say this about white people on your fucking social media, right? Like they hide behind, and then not all, some. And I want to be clear because there's this reoccurring thought and idea that when we talk about black men here or Latin men, whatever, oh, you hate black men, you hate black. No, it is a certain demographic. And more than likely, if you're saying that to me or saying that about me, you fall into the demographic I'm talking about. Period.
Very true. Because the ones who
It's
don't, they're just like, oh
Right,
yeah, that's
because
true.
my black friends and my black family, they laugh at the shit I say and they say
Mine
worse
too.
about y'all.
I'm about to say my dad. Oh my God.
Listen, more than once, I have two very good, successful black men, millionaires in the film industry. When something happens with black men that's just really ratchet, I get the text. Literally, they be like, Jen, these are your niggas. Jen, your niggas are acting up again. All right. And these are black men saying it. So even black men want nothing to do with the demographic, the Team Fatties, the Tater Tots, the
They're sick of
Kevin's
it.
Kittens. They cannot relate to y'all.
They can't.
They
They're sick
can't
of it.
relate to y'all. And they're sick of it as well. They make fun of you too.
They do.
They do. And that's the reality. Like, y'all have become the nagging wife of America. And even black people are sick of y'all.
Yeah.
There's a crazy assumption too that the white manosphere actually respects the black manosphere, and it doesn't. They don't. They just continuously do not.
What are you talking about? Listen, remember Huds was up here? And he said, Huds is a white man, right? He's red pilled and all that shit. And he even said that about the black manosphere.
Yeah.
He's a white man.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
He was
But
like,
no,
he doesn't
we be making this shit up though.
Yeah, no, he sat. I still have it on video. The white man sat up here and said he don't even know how the black manosphere happened. He's like, that shit is crazy over there.
But listen, and one of the things that he said was that there's this obsession with pussy. And yes, in our community as black men, yes, we do have an obsession with pussy. We think everything can be fixed with our penises. What?
Yeah.
What happened? There's a meteorite, you know what I mean, that's on its way to Earth. Pull my dick out and throw it at it. You know what I mean? What?
I'll fix it.
The COVID-19, I'm gonna stick my dick in this antidote.
I'll fix it.
Exactly.
Hold on. So, hold on. Let me be clear. Black penis doesn't help with COVID.
Nah, it doesn't.
No.
Oh.
Wait, what?
I was God. I was God.
Just that.
I was
Legally,
God.
baby.
God again.
Legally, David. David over here like, yeah, I fell for it too.
You fell for it, David?
Right in my eye. God damn it.
It's real.
I thought the vax went in my
What is
arm.
No, Saint, why are you keeping that?
Oh, that is so
It's my
cool.
son's.
He doesn't want to be in a glass box.
He's
Would you
not.
let me?
He's in my hand right now.
Oh,
He's in my hand.
God. That poor little thing.
And,
Kind of cute.
and you're just not into like.
He's small. My other son has a one that's grown leaps and bounds in the last year, and
Wow.
but
You're
What
not
happened,
into
Haran?
You're not into domesticating pets at all.
No, no. Unless it's a dog or a cat. No.
I'm with you.
I'm not gonna come by and see my pet tarantula.
That's not a pet.
That's like a fucking mold, walking mold. What are you saying? Fucking
I
tarantula.
like the blue tarantula.
the also Rose.
I was
There's one
surprised though.
with
I
the
had a
rose, too.
turtle once that had personality.
Yeah.
Oh, my
they-
daughter
yeah.
did too.
I would come home and that turtle would see me open the door and she would stand on her hind legs and put her hands against the glass and look at me like this. Where's my fucking food, David?
Oh my gosh.
But Jen,
And my daughter had a little one, and she used to put it on her chest and put a little blanket on him, and he used to fall asleep.
Oh.
Yeah, a little baby turtle,
is
and we used
so
to put him
Turtle
in the tub.
snores. We've gone
Yeah.
from Kardashian's ass to turtle snores.
Oh my God, where
ladies
did
and
we
gents.
go? Okay,
I know,
yeah, we
but-
did.
I
Hit
prefer
that like and
talking about
subscribe.
turtles. I would much rather
Right.
talk about turtles. I have
Hello.
never ever like watched any of their content ever. I'm a
Right.
total virgin when it comes to that stuff, and I'm gonna stay that way for life. God, it's so fucking polluted.
Yeah.
And when,
They
and
are-
when- but back to the topic real quick. When discussing power, you know, I would like for our people to be empowered, so we don't have to be so dependent and at the mercy of the whims and the ideas of so many outside forces. There has to be some degree, because there are generations of people who died for the opportunities that we have now
Mm.
to move forward, to make things happen. Is there still work to be done? Yes. Is racism forever? Absolutely. But Jesus fucking Christ, I can actually go to certain areas of the world, even at a particular time, and not get lynched. Well, maybe not, but not get lynched, not get, you know what I mean, a whole bunch of other things done to me because another person gave their life, risked their livelihood, risked their futures for me to be in that situation. So for me not to be the best version of myself, in my opinion, is a disrespect to the people from my bloodline who insisted that I have the opportunities that I have now.
Do white people think like that? I'm curious. No, say, do you wake up and think about like the white man who died in the coal mines for, other white kids to be born? Do you guys think like that? Do you think of your forefathers, like white people, what they sacrificed me be here? Because all races sacrificed.
yeah,
Do you feel this kinship to like, oh, I have to, people died for me and shit?
I can't say I do, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't know if I speak for all white people. I mean, I realize that there are people that suffered in the past,
Mm-hmm.
and but no, not really. I don't think like that.
I don't do it race wise, but I do it queer wise. Like when I hit certain milestones, I'm like, oh wow, like
We'll be
Lily
waiting on that
Freeze?
one. We're gonna wait on that one.
She froze.
Okay.
What
Damn
about
it.
you, David?
Screenshot.
David?
What about you, Dave? Pat?
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
there we go.
And
Okay,
she's
you're back.
This Wi-Fi is transphobic, but I do think about like in the queer world, like I do think about the people who came before me in that, because it's part of my story. I am the person who came before me. Like, I've lived both worlds. So I'm like, damn, I remember like I lived the world where I couldn't have done this. And now I'm living the world where I can. So it's kind of a trip. It's not the same as like slavery, because I have no connection to that, right? Aside from what I'm taught through books and movies and things like that. But I actually lived both lives. So that's why I feel that kinship with that.
Right. Thank you for the super chat, Chef Shapino. Peace to the panel, family, and chat. Peace to you as well, sir. Please hit that like and subscribe if you're coming to be nosy and see Mama in the flesh. Hi, baby. I think again, I don't know, because Haran tells me I'm just bleeding hard. Now you gotta let him down the vine, and then he get to talking. You let him talk for a little bit, and he be sounding real sentimental about being
He's got a piece
black
of a
and the
heart.
people that died. And he would like to see is us not give up our power, and what he would like to see is, men that aren't slaves to the ass and fucking. And doesn't sound like the same guy who says let them die on the vine. And
Well,
then
But he
actually,
keeps his heart in his pocket. He takes it in and out. So I think it's in right now.
pause.
Well,
Teeth. It's like
well,
teeth.
well, when you're men like Khalid Muhammad or Malcolm X
Mhm.
or Martin Luther King, yes, I do think about people like that. When you're men like God, I don't know, Cheech and Choo Choo or whatever the fuck, Little Dro or whatever the fuck these motherfuckers.
A little
Drojo.
whatever.
I guarantee there's men out there named Drojo. I guarantee you can find one.
Just
When we're
Google it.
talking
He's
about
there.
those guys, yeah, Jen, chuck them over the goddamn vine.
Well,
Now, the young men, the younger men, the kids who can still be shaped, the kids who still have a shot.
Hmm.
I think about them, and I do care about them because they can still go into a particular direction. They can be saved.
yeah, I just think that when it comes from what Lily said and then Haran, I think it's a lot closer to those people that sacrificed than for people that sacrifice for, the people that left Europe to escape, British rule or whatever. That's kind of a long time ago. And he's talking about like Malcolm X and stuff, and that's kind of close, So the further you get away from that, I think the less it becomes. It becomes less real because
look at
when you think of when I think of it, it's so cool. I've gone on YouTube and I found I don't know, some president from 1800s had a recording of his voice and it brought him to life. I was like, oh, I didn't think he sounded like that. But when you can't hear it, you can't touch it, see it, it kind of becomes like what history has made of that person. And you kind of, for me, I disconnect from the reality that this person might have been an asshole or,
So you know what I asked? The reason why I asked you the question is because I see a pattern in the black men in my network. I see, and I'm talking about successful black men, right? In my network. I notice that they never, and I mean ever, have those conversations. And it's a pattern to me. I notice they never thinking about the slave trade and what happened, and who died over here, and the civil rights movement. Regardless if they benefited from it. Regardless. Right? And they have huge success. So I'm like, is there a pattern, or like you got one leg in the oh woe is me, and I'm saying this in general. You have the one leg in the oh woe is me and what we should be doing as a community. And I still say there's no black community. There's not. I think the downfall of a lot of black people is thinking that there's a black community. There's no black community. I've never seen so much hate, vitriol, and infighting. I said it before and I say it again. Nobody hates black people like black people.
Oh, God,
Y'all can sit up here and talk about white people till you blue in the face. I have never seen the level of hate and vitriol for black people outside of black people doing it to black people, fighting about hair, complexion. This one got green eyes. She's better than you. This one's lighter. She's white adjacent. This one's on. I have never seen the hate. The hate that black men have for black women is profound. I've never seen another race and ethnicity of men hate their women the way black women hate. I mean, the way black men hate black women, and now I'm seeing black women retaliate. Right? But I've never seen that level of hate. That's why I say don't nobody hate black people like black people. That's why
I've been
I
saying that
laugh.
for years.
I laugh when they say you're anti-black. Honey, nobody's more anti-black than a black person. Nobody. I haven't seen that. Okay. So going back to my network, Tristan, exactly. Like they'll protect pearly things before they protect a black woman. That's why I said there's no black community.
Yes.
Every man for themselves. But it feels good and it sounds good to say there's a black community and the black community. So when I hear people talk we and us, and I think about my successful friends, and I'm talking about successful. I'm talking about $1 million attorneys and, you know what I'm saying? And film producers and directors and actors and guys that I could just jump on the phone with. When something really crazy happens with Black people, they laugh at me. They're like, Jen, your niggas acting up again. And they say way worse than that, by the way. That's the light shit they say. That's the light shit they say. Now, they're going to keep it politically correct because they're businessmen. But that's the light shit they tell me, FYI. And these are Black men, successful Black men. But you never hear them talk in the sense of we and what our community has to do or my community. You don't hear those words. They're either talking business, money, what's going on with you, what's happening. This is my deal over here. I have to go over there. I got to host this show. I'm writing for this particular award show. I'm representing this person in this court case, and it'll be a celebrity. These are the conversations that I have with these men. And again, I say these are Black men.
It's because we're busy.
Tristan, you do that shit to me too.
I just want to speak on.
Let's ask Haran, right? Haran, how much business that you gotten done today before you hit this panel?
Oh shit!
You got a few. Thank you. But if you walk on YouTube, you can find guys that were streaming what, and they'll say this. I started streaming 7 hours ago. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I just want to say one thing though. I understand what Jen is saying, and this is the space where she and I kind of differ, because we've gotten into discussions about that. I have, as some of you know, I do deal with a lot of young kids. You know what I mean, or young men who had the backgrounds that Jen and I had, who I think still have some degree of potential. And I do reach back to the community, because the reason why I reach back to the community is because there are people and young men and women like me, like myself, if given the opportunity, they can go on and do great things. Now, maybe that's 1 out of 10, 1 out of 20, whatever it is. But I'm not a completely self-made man. I am not. Luck came in the way, probability, people, you know what I mean? I managed to meet the right person on a train one day, so on and so forth. But there's a reason why I'm on this panel right now, having these kind of discussions, able to live a particular life, able to contribute to my family. There's a reason outside of just myself, and my perspective is that I do remember the times where I didn't have those things, and I wish I had those things. So there's still a piece of me that still wants to go back and get that kid, or that, or that young person who just needs that right person to give them that push. Now, when you're over a particular age, I really ain't got nothing to do and got nothing for you, man.
So how do you and I differ?
In that, well, we differ in the sense of you don't feel there's any community, period.
No, I don't think, no, but that's not, no, I don't think there's a Black community at all. I think that, and people need to stop saying it. I don't think there's a Black community at all. At all. There and they've proven it, and they're proving it even more how they've broken off into these factions. You got your ADOS fighting with FBA, FBA fighting with the BIPOC, Black man fighting with the Black women, the Black women. That's not a community. It's actually the opposite. It's the lack of community, right?
Okay, so what is the perspective? What is the
I don't have an issue with yours. I was waiting to hear what we disagree with. That's why I asked you where do we differ, because I believe in, like, of course, I'd love to go back to the Bronx and open up a boxing gym, a girls only boxing gym, get your ass out the street fighting and go in a fight. You want to fight? Hit this gym. I would love to do something like that in the future, but I don't think, and it sounds like you would do the same, right? For boys or whatever, right? But I think that's different than what I was addressing before when I'm talking about this community thing that exists, like going back to help your community. I don't agree with, right? I wouldn't do that wouldn't do that collectively is my issue, right? Because I've tried to do that. I'm Puerto Rican.
Me too.
I've tried to do that with Puerto Ricans, right? Yep. And the shit blew up in my face. And I was like, oh,
And
I
you
get
become the
it.
bad
Some
guy.
of you, yeah, you become the bad guy. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I get it. Some of you aren't even
What?
uncomfortable in this situation.
Right.
And I'm thinking, because I would be comfortable, I would be uncomfortable in that situation, and I want it better for myself, that you would want better for yourself too. And the last thing that you should do is help somebody that didn't fucking ask for it.
Right.
That's the last.
Let me tell you, I have so many stories. I got a whole book in me with this topic alone of making that mistake of trying to help everyone collectively and
Yeah.
not making it more targeted, right?
Mr.
Um
Justice of the community.
and I'm telling you, I oh my God, I got so many stories about that. And I was always the bad guy at the end of the day. Always ended up being the bad guy at the end of the day. And that's
Yeah.
the biggest lesson that I learned, is that some people want to be where they're at, no matter what their mouth says. That's why I don't listen to what
Oh
people's
yeah.
mouths say anymore. Like, I'm listening to watching their actions. So if they haven't put any time or investments into themselves, I mean, it's the same thing. I think I've mentioned this before when I've watched Shark Tank, right?
Mm-hmm.
I used to call them my television evangelists for business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I learned a lot through Shark Tank. And after watching for like season after season, I remember I saw a pattern. I like to look for patterns. So I
Mm-hmm.
saw a pattern, right? And I said, there's two things that I found kind of amazing or interesting. Two types of people that they would not invest in, I would notice. No matter how great their product was, no matter how great their pitch was, no matter what, there was two patterns that I noticed. Either they didn't leave their full-time job,
Mm-hmm.
or they hadn't been in business for 3 years or longer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And those two things were synonymous. There was, and the reason why is because they were like, if you don't invest in yourself fully, why would I invest in you? Like, if you got one foot in the job and one foot out the job, then you don't believe in yourself. And
Or you want to
right,
eat.
oh, right, that too. But this is the thing. I get it as an
Eating is
entrepreneur.
good. Eating is
It's
good.
good. It's good, and I get it in theory, right? But listen, as an entrepreneur, I got to that crossroad with the one foot in the one foot out, right? And I understood what they were saying in that moment. You get to that crossroad where you realize, like, oh shit, I gotta shit or get off the pot. I might lose everything. And I did. But I believed in myself. And I knew I would, no matter what, I was gonna get the shit back and then some. And I did. Right. And guess what? People invested in me because they saw me investing in
Right.
myself.
Yeah, it's
So
tricky.
it's the
It's
same thing.
scary. It's tricky, scary, because I agree with David. It's like, not being able to eat is some scary shit. Thank you for
It is.
thank you for the super chat, George Cook. How are you, sir? You haven't been up to the block in a minute. George Cook says, scintillating conversation tonight. No, Saint, you're the OC, so the original colonizer. So you better rep for us real good. Laughing out loud.
I remember Mano was he was on some podcast, and this is when the Nipsey Hussle when his passing was still fresh, and he was basically talking about Nipsey's just his willingness to give back to the community, his willingness to want to build community and literally give his life to that.
Right.
And Mano was basically saying, because and you could tell he was speaking from experience.
Mm-hmm.
He says, no matter what you do, it's never enough.
Correct. That is why
Never.
that is why I say to hell with the idea of a community. There is no Black community. You can quote me on that. You can get mad. You can review it. You can react to it. You can tell people I said it. I'll always say it. I'll say it on CNN. I don't give a fuck. I'll say it across a desk, Candace Owens. I don't care. And I got that information from watching the Black community. I didn't pull this out my ass. I'm just watching. I'm just observing. I'm observing. It's no different than what I said, on my Facebook earlier. The Spaniard presenting Latins enjoy their adjacency to whiteness very much, right? People are like, that's not, no, that is what I see. And it's funny because the little Spanish white girl that I was referring to, I wouldn't do that. I don't care about, that's the fuck you do, bitch. We're going to deny privilege now. We're going to deny
Right.
that you look like
Ain't
you present
nobody.
as a white woman and you don't take advantage of that. So you know, going back to my friends, I think they are like you and I, Haran, and, you know, they do their charity shit. However, they don't look at the Black community as a community. They don't look at it collectively as like, oh, we have to fix the Black community. That will never leave their lips. We got to fix the Black community. They look at it very logically. Y'all are fucked up, and anybody who's not fucked up is going to work as hard as me to not be fucked up. That is how they think.
I look at some of the I was looking at some of the comments, and I hear, like, especially being referred to like the Jewish community, like, oh, look what the Jewish community does. It's not really a good comparison, because what the Jewish community does, even though there's different sects of Jewish communities, it's small. It breaks down, and they have religion in common, and the religion sets certain rules and laws, right? It's like, and some I think I saw somebody mention the Italians, and I don't think maybe the Italians in New York are kind of close through for some reason, but but we have Italians.
Racist.
We have Italians here, and yeah, everybody, you know, anything that's like a separate from Anglo-Saxon white people, like Italians are kind of separate, you know, from Anglo-Saxon whites, form a small community. The Vietnamese. But they have to have something in common. I just think that when it comes to Anglo-Saxons and then the Black community, there are a lot of people with a lot of different ideas on how things should be done. And you can't really call yourself a community or a group, because, like, I know if you said, oh, if I said I need to get the white community together, I already know that there are so many different thoughts. We're never going to come together on certain things. Like when George comes up here, I like George and everything. We're not going to agree on certain things. You know what I mean? And so it's probably not going to work out. Like, I mean, we could be friends.
But isn't that common? But that's what I'm saying. It's common sense, while the Black community is in denial that there's a community. If you wanted to change something for the better in the Black community, you'd first have to fight Black people.
Yeah.
You'd have to fight Black people. Forget white people. White people aren't even on the menu or on the table. You got to fight Black people. You got to fight Black people that insist Candace Owens is right. And then you got to fight Black people that think Dr. Umar is right. You have to fight Black people. You got to fight Black people before you even get anywhere else. So that's why I'm saying it's the same thing when I was VP of a nonprofit group out here in Vegas that was up and running for 20 some odd years. They were begging me, be the VP. And then I was like, I ain't got time to be the president. I'll do the VP shit, right? I had to leave. And that was nothing but Puerto Ricans. The entire system was Puerto Rican. And we could not agree on how the money should be divided. So I was like, nah, I don't want to partake in this. I'm out. And it was a big to-do. And I did not leave in a nice way either.
And
Surprise.
I want to add that there's a lot of different of what I've noticed. Like one of the things, like you would think, okay, you have a common enemy, right? The white man. And I'm not saying all, but I'm just saying so you had the Hebrew Israelites, and I saw a video in the Nation of Islam. The Nation of Islam is trying to say, hey man, we need to come together. And they're like, hell no, we're not coming together. Because you believe in Muhammad and you believe in that, and yet they have a common enemy. They both say the white man's the devil, but they're never going to come together and fight together because they have different ideas, and that goes throughout. There's just a lot. And
every community.
Yes.
Because you look at the Christian community, the same thing. You see how we have 4 Christians up here, and they just implode.
Yeah,
every time.
None of them agree with each other.
That's the Black community. We implode. The moment you put us in the room together, we are going to implode. I mean, it's just as simple as that. And I had to come to grips with that a while ago too, because we're raised like that. We're raised to think like that and think of this monolith. And
my daddy did not. I spoke about it before. My father was like, them Puerto Ricans over there are different. Do not go over there. Bring one of them over here.
Yeah.
Don't bring one of them over here. I don't want to see you over there. If I see you over there, it's going to be some shit. Right. So when the Black men, no, everybody matters. Everybody matters.
My mother is unapologetically bougie to other family members. Like, we ain't got to leave the house, right? In the same house. Like, we're different. Like, my mother didn't, without me being specific, my mother, she didn't care who you were. She didn't care if you was mother, father, sister, brother. Like she
Mm.
was going to separate from that type of, because we already have it hard enough because the world is going to make us a monolith, right? So when you don't step up and say, "Hey, no, whoa, that's I'm not. We're different,
Mhm. Mhm.
right?" If not, then people are going to continuously bunch you into the loudest group, which is tends to be the most ignorant ones that get the
Right.
most they get the most play. So
Look,
Right.
man. Over the years, I've donated to a number of organizations that were pushing Black children into STEM. Um, a number of years, it's accumulated to about maybe $20,000,
Mhm.
and it's amazing because here I am, far from rich, giving
Mhm.
up $20,000 that I could really use, especially right now. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And but I don't see like the Black churches, a lot of these Black organizations
Mhm.
giving, money to these same organizations that have put our, a number of our people in STEM, have they put
Mhm.
a number of our people in these empowering situations. But people
Mhm.
such as myself are seen as some sort of problem, sort of whatever. But the other people who are enabling the detrimental situations that you're in, you constantly keep showing your support for them, and you never bring them to task. And it begs the question: Are you just is your safe haven? Is your the only thing that you associate with yourself is failure? Anything outside of that, you can't perceive to have an actual life. That is my bigger question. Anyway, go ahead.
Someone asked, "What is your take on AOC?" I'm proud that a Puerto Rican girl from the Bronx, successfully won something that she went for, but I didn't vote for her. I didn't.
I
I
think she
don't do
was naive.
politics,
I think she
huh?
was naive. I think she was naive. She came in with a bit of a sense of I get it. She wanted to change things or whatever,
right.
but I really think she understood what politics is about. And
Yeah.
Well, I
once
mean, what politician? I mean, what politician says he's not going to change things? Give me one. Give me a politician that his whole campaign or her whole campaign is, and I'm going to come in and change things. Give me one.
no, I know I think she actually thought she was going to do that.
I sincerely think that there are
Thought she was
people
going to
who
change things up, and she found out real quick that no, you're a
No,
part of
I'm
a system.
saying who. I mean,
No one has.
you're
No
going
one
by
has.
her campaign, and I'm
No one
asking you
has.
what politician.
No one
No,
has,
no
and that
polit.
is my point.
Right.
yeah
And that is my point. No one has ever done that. So
no.
if you're going to agree to be on these teams, you're going to be a person that's falling in line.
I feel like
Mhm.
that in a lot of not just politicians, right? In a lot of careers, I feel like people do. There are some people who go in with a pure heart, and then they quickly now with politics, you quickly realize, and I feel like there's less people in politics to go in with a pure heart, but there's still people in politics to go in with a pure heart. But I would say in medical, in the school system, and then you get in and you realize, oh, the system's rigged to keep shit the way it is. Oh,
Well,
I
no,
didn't know
that's
that.
how. I mean, no, that I got a taste. I got a taste of that with that nonprofit. I was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we're gonna do. We're raising all this money to give these kids scholarships who are working hard in school. And then I get there and I'm looking at the books, and I'm like, this person who got the scholarship works with us, and this person that got the scholarship is our treasurer. And this person that got the scholarship is the guy. I'm like, this shit isn't adding up. Where are the kids that we're supposed to be giving these scholarships to? Right? But
Okay.
they had been running it like that for a while, but ooh, they fucked with
It's
the
just like
wrong one.
politics. You get inside and you realize that it's really only about raising money and getting reelected. That's all they care about.
Well, I'll say this, like for AOC, I think Haran's right. I think she came in there thinking that she is going to be able to change a lot of things. It's just like I've seen it all the time. With people that come in with a certain how I did it, but maybe she was a community organizer and she got things done. And you come to the next place, you say, "Man, I'm going to change some lot of things." What good leaders have to know is they're only as successful as the people under them, right? So if they revolt, like I've had the guy came here, he was gung ho to do everything they did at the last apartment he was at. But you got a lot of different personalities, and some people don't want any of that change. So you're not going to succeed in changing. So for a politician to come in, you have a whole team of other people that have a say too, and they're trying to get their district, or and their money line, pockets line, but they're trying to get their district certain pork. And so it's not easy once you get into that. It's more of a, it's not, unless you have an authoritarian, you're not gonna get it done.
Well, that's why. But hence, I don't vote and I don't do politics. I'm not gonna play the game. I don't do sports, and I think that politics are people sports. You put on your jersey, the red one or the blue one, then you ride that out until your team loses, and then you start barking at them, hey, you're a loser. And it's the same team you voted for. It's the same thing in sports. You can have a favorite team and they lose, and then you're cursing and throwing beer on it. I'm not playing. I don't do people sports.
I get what you're saying. I will say personally, and I know the some, not all, is I will switch jerseys if I think it's someone that's going if they're talking sense, right? I like people more towards the middle. Despite what people may think, I'm not far left at all. Here I am in Louisiana. They think I am, but I'm not. But I get what you're saying. But most people are like that. The people I work with are like that. It doesn't matter what somebody does. They're on the other team, and they're bad or whatever.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't.
I think the perception of my politics is it's always based on whatever talking point they heard me actually spew. Like usually I'm conservative and so on and so forth when I'm talking that pull yourself up by the bootstrap shit. And then I say that, but gay people are cool. Then all of a sudden I'm woke.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's so weird.
Super fucking left. So the problem is, with politics, and well, they know this, is that most people are very binary. Most people exist in this world where only, their perception of the world is supposed to be tended to, and not understanding that life sits in the gray. You're not going to always get what you want. You have to compromise, for the greater good of the situation. And also, I will say this, there are a ton of millionaires and billionaires we've never heard about. We'll never see, who control all these motherfuckers and control all of these situations and have the last word, when all of these political debates and campaigns are held.
Yes, right. I definitely agree. I'm going to do a story. I don't know if next time we're on, probably. I couldn't get it written up the way I wanted to today.
Monday. Yeah,
Monday I'll do it. But there's some great studies out there. So I would consider Haran and myself high conscientious. Like, if you're going to call me liberal, then I'm a high conscientious liberal or independent, right? But there's a lot of low conscientious liberals and a lot of low conscientious conservatives. And I found they did 8 studies. So I'm going to bring that probably Monday when we do a show. I thought it was really interesting, some of the things that they were talking about. So.
Yeah, politics is just another form of religion at the end of the day.
I agree.
Right?
I can't subscribe. I can't subscribe.
Yeah.
Except you can see the people.
And it's based in reality.
Right.
It is based in reality too.
I don't think it's really like religion, but
actually,
they're all cult.
It is followed blindly. It is followed
they
blindly.
do follow
like
blindly.
Yeah.
I don't think it's all religion. I think everything is showbiz, man.
That too. Yeah.
As well.
Donald Trump basically proved that shit. This is all fucking showbiz. You know what I mean? And
that's all he talks about is his numbers, his ratings, and his numbers.
Right, exactly.
It's always
They watched me more than Biden.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then they cut the video back and forth to the poor
that
people
was
in
funny.
lawn chairs and a cricket
Right,
at a Trump
I saw that.
rally.
Oh, okay. We're getting a compliment from Smurf Fit.
Smurf.
Wait.
Smurf.
Smurfity Smurf. Thank you. He says, I'm new here. I love the panels. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Welcome.
Smurf Itty Smurf.
So do we have time? I wanted to bring something from my desk.
We got 10 minutes. David, I know you got to go, so if you want to drop off, it is okay.
I
I
can't
hear what Lily's got on her desk.
Yeah,
Okay.
should I? Okay, because I have two. I'm gonna
You
do
got
one.
10
Not
minutes. Whatever you can
okay.
do
Yeah,
in
I'm gonna do
10
the
minutes.
short one. I'm gonna do the short one. This is funny. Okay, so there's a guy, right? I
Mhm.
don't know if you heard about this. Did you hear about the prison break? There's a prison break down in you've heard about it? Okay. So there's a guy down in Pennsylvania. He escaped from prison today, okay? And he escaped from the yard. So he did the whole old school trick that you see in the movies with the sheets and tying the sheets and stuff like that. Because I guess it's one of those prison yards that is raised up. Because not all prison yards are outside these days. A lot of them are
Okay.
inside and they're like maybe on a 10th floor or something like that, right? So he tied the sheets together, right? And
Oh, I'm sorry. Smurfity Smurf.
Yeah.
okay,
It was
Smurfity Smurf.
bothering me. Smurfity Smurf. It was bothering
Okay.
me.
So his name is Michael Berman. He's 34. All right. Now, what he was in there for was the R word and the M word. Okay. He's from Jamestown, Pennsylvania. So if you're in Jamestown, Pennsylvania, you probably already know about this. But lock
Hide your
your doors.
kids,
Hide your
hide your
wives.
wife, and
Exactly.
your
That's what.
husbands.
No, that's literally what the police said too in the press
Okay.
conference today. Yeah. So Jen, you're right on the mark. All right.
Okay.
So this guy, what makes him a little bit different is that they're really having a really hard time catching this guy or even searching for this guy because he is a self-trained, self-taught survivalist. So he went right into the woods and
Oh,
they and he
Holy
made sure
fuck.
he went into like certain conditions where they can't get through.
Oh.
Yeah, but they say that they feel like he's still in the area.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like he's still in the area. He still hasn't left or whatever. That's why they were saying hide your wives, hide your kids. But they don't know how to even get into search for him because he knew exactly where to go into what part of like the
Job for
most
send Rambo
dense.
in there. Send Rambo will get him.
Rambo will get him,
mhm. Or
Or
So
Predator.
another
yeah,
survivalist and a couple of other survivors. Send 5 survivalists in there. They'll get his ass out.
Predator take him down.
right. So I thought that was
At
kind of
the
funny
boo.
right there. Oh, and, oh, I do have another story. I do have another story. So the other story I have from my
I said
desk, this
10 minutes. Can you do
it's
it in under 10 minutes?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this because these are short, these are not deep stories, so it's not like we're gonna have no like major dialogue.
Okay.
Um, so this one is a cute story. This is coming from a college student, okay? This particular college student, he was going to school at Berkeley, which is in the Bay Area. And if you know anything about the Bay Area, that's what Silicon Valley is. They have more money than God. So the prices of like the cost of living there is super expensive, right? So he was like, I have a choice, right? Do I get an apartment and pay tons of rent here? Because even if I have a roommate, like just like here in New York, you have to have like 18 roommates to be able to,
Yes.
survive,
Live.
right? Yeah,
Live.
just to be able to live, right? And so basically he was like, you know what? I have frequent flyer miles, right?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of choosing to live where he went to school at, he chose to commute on Alaska Airlines using his frequent flyer miles, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And his money, right? Because he had the money to pay rent, but he figured he would save money by flying to school 3 times a week.
Mm.
And he just graduated, you all. He just graduated from Berkeley, and so basically, this is a couple of the numbers here. He took a total of 238 flights and he spent a total of $5,592, and that includes parking and transportation as well, as opposed to the 20K in rent he would have
Mm.
spent. So he said the other thing is he kind of liked using the Alaska Airlines is because they have like a lenient change policy. So say if he was in San Fran and he was supposed to leave that day, but his friends was like, no, dude, we got a party,
Mm-hmm.
don't leave today. He can go ahead and make a quick change without being penalized. And I think it was, kind of smart, I mean, not saying that I would do it, but it's one of those examples of doing what you got to do to get what you want, making the sacrifices
Mm-hmm.
to get what you want. So salute to him. Congratulations to this young man. I don't have his name, but congratulations to him. And he saved the coin.
Well,
Hey.
congrats. Congrats. Um, Gwendolyn Crutcher says a whole lot of people need to read the book written by Willie Lynch to hopefully learn a lot of themselves and grow into the person that will heal our community and stop contributing to keep us apart. Black Lexicon says the guy that escaped the cannibals in the Andes Mountains was incredible to me. the greatest extent of the need to survive. Example, I've heard percentage days to make it back to town.
I'm gonna close my door, but I want to say something. So
Uh-oh.
hold on a second.
All right. Well, we shall wait.
Wait, I thought they said Willie Lynch letters were like kind of like debunked.
Well, the Willie Lynch letters were debunked. However, reading that, it sounds like maybe it wasn't written by a Willie Lynch, but it sounds like the formula they used because that's how
Right.
everybody acts.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say is it wasn't a real person.
Right. But it
It
was a real
wasn't.
thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Based on
I
the
mean,
true
that's,
story.
I mean, they breeded
yeah.
people and they pit them against each other so they
Well,
don't get
but
together.
that's the history of the world. But I'm just saying, like when people say, "Oh, Willie," and then they've already figured out that. I'd have to look up the things that, but yeah, that the
The
guy.
history of the world. Hold on now, because we got 5 minutes left. Slavery is quite unique, sir. Slavery
What's
is
that?
slavery was quite unique, sir.
I mean, slavery in Rome was pretty bad.
Are we having a pearly things moment?
No. No, I'm saying it's bad. I'm saying it's bad. I said slavery.
Wait.
I mean, certainly if you want to put your slavery up against other slavery, I'm not going to step in the way. But I'm just saying slavery is
We're gonna find out
bad.
which one. Oh my God!
What?
Chattel
Hold on.
slavery is bad. Sure, no doubt about it. And Rome, I think it was pretty bad as well.
This is a total quicksand.
Just make sure. Listen, no say. Just make
Yeah,
sure.
I know. I'm glad
just
there's
make
only 5 minutes left.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, I could get jiggy with 30 seconds. Don't play with me. Listen, I'll say this. Make sure you repeat that again when we have 100,000 followers. Okay.
Hey, cool.
Hold on to that. Hold on.
No,
to
listen. I'm not going to be. I'm definitely uncomfortable with talking about this because it is very personal, and my ancestors in America did not suffer like Black people and Native Americans. So I'm just saying that when you say it's unique, in my mind, I go and think of all the things I've learned about history, and that's the only thing I'm thinking about. But I probably shouldn't step in it like that.
I say, in regards
You
to
have to be there now. Just
the Willie Lynch letter or anything in that regard, I will say this: if you're hungry enough, you'll damn near eat anything.
Yes. For real. Yeah. All right, guys. So we are out of here. Mama's a little tired. Okay. David, we will see you on the next one. No Saint. Mr. Haranza Marco. Lily of YB Limited. The letter Y, the letter B, the word limited because of YB Limited. Tristan!
why?
Tristan, you haven't taken us out in a long time.
Better make
Okay.
it good.
oh, how good do you want it?
Real good, baby.
How do you want it?
In honor
How do
of
you need? Going up in I'm real.
For real.
How do you want it?
We go to
Okay.
aunties. We go to aunties.
Oh,
Hello.
speaking of auntie,
The hot aunties.
What's
okay,
up, Team Fatty? Did you finish your stream? Because I'm about to hit you with a copyright strike, but I want to know if you finished. Are you done, baby?
I knew
Are you
that.
done? Because I already got the form pulled up. I'm just waiting to see if you're done. You done yet? If you want me to take off the copyright strike, you have to give me half of what you made tonight, bitch. But hello to you too. Wait. Record that too. So record that too so you can play this for your people. The 50-year-old grandma. All right, baby. Okay, I'm coming over there. All right.
Get you within €5.
Okay, he said $300. I want half of that because you're definitely getting copyright strike. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. Talk to you later. Thank you for the $5 super chat, though, but that's not going to be enough.
Euro.
All right, Euro. All right, guys. So, Tristan, what you got? Take us out.
Okay, all right. This is going to be bad. All right.
You said we were going to... Wait a minute. You said it was going to be good. You asked me how good do I want it. Then you said this is going to be bad.
Oh no. Right. In honor of the race belt and the aunties comment.
Oh.
This is You might. I think you are 100% going to edit this out. Possibly. Put me on.
Okay. Oh, he talking about we're gonna have to edit him out. What are you doing?
Not bad.
All right, Tristan.
But since we were talking about the ancestors and stuff like that, and the
Yes,
race,
we were.
I prayed to the ancestors, right? Like Killmonger did, and I asked ancestors for some help, and they gave me a message to reply back to everybody. You want to see it?
Yes.
The ancestors like this new generation, y'all. After everything they've done for us and what we're doing, is fuck y'all.
Sorry, Aunt Jemima. I just like to twerk. I just like to twerk, Aunt
Aunt
Jemima.
Jemima's done with us.
I
She's
just
done
want
with
to
us.
twerk.
I want to eat pancakes and fuck.
Oh. Oh.
Ew, ew.
Oh.
I love you all, class.
Good night.
folks.
Good night, guys. If you're still here, hit that like and subscribe for Mama. Thank you to all the new subbies. I hope you enjoy your stay here. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, everybody's gone. I'll call in the DMs, no saying. Because people can't take fucking directions in this bitch. All right, guys. Good night. Thank you for being here. I hope you enjoyed. Tonight we had a light night. Usually we have really spicy topics. If you want to see a spicy stream, check out last night's stream or the other streams that I've had. Thank you for being here. You know, I appreciate every single one of you for giving us your time, cash apps, and the super chats. Okay, Mama's very happy. But Mama's also very tired. Okay, so I will see you come back on Monday. Again, thank you. If you are new here, buckle up, baby, because it gets bumpy. All right, guys, good night. Be good. And if you can't be good, be careful. Power to the people.